Well, Vekeleveke, we're interested in testing your African football knowledge, and so we have another trivia question lined up for you this week. We have Zamalek and Al Ahly. They went head-to-head in the final of the CAF Super Cup. It was Zamalek who came out victorious as they secured a 4-3 victory on penalties. Now, I want to know from you, how many CAF Super Cup titles does Zamalek have under their belt? As fast as fingers first, make sure that you send through all your answers. At the end of the show, we'll get you out of your misery and we'll reveal the answer to you. Hashtag Fut-Afrique, it's the only hashtag that matters. Now, you see me as the rose amongst the thorns and you're wondering, Idu, Kiwamang Wachomi in studio. Well, I've decided to go squad deep today and I've decided to dive into the conversation. As you know, I'm a true lover of the Betway Premiership. To my left, I have MG sitting in the center of everything, a man who doesn't necessarily say much, but I wish you could interact with him off camera. The best person you'll ever meet. And at the far left, we also have the ultimate heavyweight of the airwaves, Brian Mofokeng, a man who unfortunately, his career didn't go scientific, but he finds himself analyzing things when it comes to football. Gentlemen, absolute pleasure. Hello.
Hello, lady. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm well, thanks.
This is the funniest thing. I've never seen him become like this.
That's why I said if we can get B-roll of him walking in and greeting people, we'd play it over. Right?
There's the character and then there's the personality. So you guys are dealing with the
personality?
Thank you.
Okay, let's get into it, gentlemen. Getting into the conversations that came out this week, obviously a sad one when it comes to South African football. It's Alton Meiring, who unfortunately passed away. I'm a 2000, worry not, I'm here to fill you in, to let you know as to who this man was. But I just want to know, for those who don't know who he is, Morgan, who is this man?
Well, Alton Meiring, former footballer. You know, it's sad to come here and speak about this. But unfortunately, he lost his life. Very prolific striker. I know far too well. I've been on the wrong side of things. He's been running past me and running rings around me. But a very good human being. Unfortunately, how he passed away is not very good for a good way to pass away. And it's not that anything passing away is good, but I just don't believe how a footballer that was gracing us on our screens now succumbs to crime. But it's a topic for another day. But it's just condolences to him and his family. Yeah. To the family, actually.
Brian, from what you have had assessed during his playing career, let me know what made him so prolific, because we saw him play for an ample amount of teams. You know when you watch Ikram Reyners, he had a similar mold to that Ikram Reyners type of predator estate going forward. I mean, we are blessed today because you have another striker in Ramagalele, you know, so the running off the shoulders of players and getting in between. There's one goal that I still look at over and over again. We're still playing for Aros at that stage. Beautiful goal he scored at that stage. So to the family, may his soul rest in peace. Condolences, you know, to all those that love the beautiful game, that have followed his career throughout. Also, he was a coach now, you know, before he passed away. The importance of having our legends also ply back into the world of football, especially at youth level. How important is that?
It's very important. We don't stress it enough how important it is, because the challenges that we've been through, making it easy for the next generation, because we far too often we want them to be better, but are we giving them better information? Are we preparing them better for them to be better people? Because we can't say because we went through something, they need to go through it. It's totally different. So for me, it's very important. It's not a plowback, but it's just doing right and just for the next generation to get better, become better, and obviously generations after that to also just. It must be a domino effect. We do good, so the next can do better. Yeah. Well,
absolutely. Love and light to the family of Alton Meiring and to the whole entire football fraternity. Our hearts go out to all those who were close to him and those who worked with him. Let's turn our attention now to the league that's taking place out in South Africa. It's the Betway Premiership, a whole new league, and so many stars are rising to the horizon. Others would say that it's still too soon for us to be talking about it, but I just want to know from you, week in, week out, I'm left gobsmacked. And I know we're like, 3 weeks in? Yeah. But let me know, what is your perception of the entire league thus far?
It's far too early to say what for me, because I'm a I analyze with a critic eye because first 3 games doesn't say much. People are not fit yet. Muscle memory hasn't kicked in. Some could be lucky, some could be unlucky. It's initially, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. So for me, I can't read too much into it. People have planned, prepared. Now they're going to be tested. It's a marathon, this thing. You might come out of the starting blocks as fast as the other teams have done, or you may delay your start. So it's still far too early to say.
Do we still say it's far too early, even for the teams that are playing within the CAF club competitions, because they have a bit more game time as opposed to those who are just plying their trade in the league?
I think it's a yes and a no situation. If you look at it from a point of view, CAF Champions League and CAF Confederations Cup, it's a different competition. So you need to apply certain principles and certain way to play in that competition versus how you play in the league. But at the same time also, some teams don't have the sort of personnel to carry them throughout all those competitions. So only time will tell when you get to the group stage, because you know that on Monday, the draw happens, so we'll know exactly who's going to play who. And how far you got to travel also will also be telling. Some teams are losing players, like Stelis is losing players continuously. They've lost key players to the squad. But also at the same time, you got teams that have a massive depth, your Sundowns of this world. Lando Pares, you have a lot of players also. I mean, I was there last week when they played a game, and I was looking at the players who didn't even make the cut. Were sitting on the left-hand side of the media tribune. And I was like, that's starting 11 for another team. You know? And they were sitting watching from the stand. So you can see just how things have changed overall in football.
Yeah. And the club that's on everyone's lips at the moment, I think, is obviously Kaizer Chiefs, because I feel like they're bringing football back to South Africa with the whole culture of going to the stadium and filling up the stadiums. Morgan, does this not take you back to when you were playing?
Yeah, definitely it takes me back, but it's a new broom, and a new broom sweeps clean. And I think I like the mentality that Nabi came in. He came with a no-nonsense, we're building. A lot of things have been said, you can't rebuild, but he comes into a new team, he's not familiar with the league itself. Yes, he's familiar with continent football, but come to Chiefs, it's a totally different ball game. I like the no-nonsense work. Or don't get game time. And it looks like it's working for him. 3 games, he's done well. So it still remains to be seen.
Yeah, it remains to be seen. Many people believe that, Kaizer Chiefs were caught in that game up against Mamelodi Sundowns because they were complaining already about the second half of that game against AmaZulu. When we come back, we'll dissect that a little bit further. And we'll also get into the MTN 8, the first final that we see within South African football this season. Go nowhere.